we're going to show you what's acceptable level of radiation, what is not acceptable level of radiation. So anything below 0 is the green, below 200 is the green zone. Above 200, not acceptable. Can you tell your neighbors next to you, not acceptable? Not acceptable. Okay. What level is not acceptable, guys? Above 200. Absolutely right. So today, what I'd like to do, I'd like to do a test. Can I use your detector? Whose detector is this? Can I use it? Fantastic. Now over here, I have a radiation detector. And I'm going to detect a radiation. So if I switch this on, you can see it's already detecting radiation. Why? Because I'm standing right in the middle of TV, computer, microphone, speaker. And if I move it away, wow, there's a lot of radiation in this room. Can you guys read out what's the radiation there, guys? Read out the figure for me. Okay, so it is 300, 1,000, 700, 900, 1,000. Look at that. Now, can I borrow somebody's phone? Can I borrow your phone, sir? So, over there, the reading is about 700. You know, if I put it to this gentleman's phone, can you guys see the reading? What is the reading there, guys? Can you read it out? 2,000. Wow. That is very high reading. Is that right, guys? Let's go around the room. Let's try this one. What is the reading there, guys? 2008. Wow. Let's read this one. What is the reading there, guys? This one. Can you read it out, guys? I cannot see. 1,400. So over here, we're constantly bombarded by radiation. Now if I put it near to the TV, you can see it goes up quite significantly. 2,000. Can you guys see it? If I go to the computer, same thing, right? 2,000 plus. So this one here is radiation detector. And what did I say just now? Anything above 200 is?
Not acceptable.
It is not acceptable. It is dangerous. This, by the way, is based on the FCC's recommendation. The FCC is the Federal Communications Commission of the United States. And they themselves say that anything above 200 is not acceptable. And guess what? We're constantly bombarded by all this radiation from our phones, from our speakers, TVs, AC, lights even. Yes, your lights emit radiation as well. And it's all around us. Anyone here, you getting scared? Anyone getting scared? Yes. But you know you're not scared anymore because we have a solution. Is that right, guys?
Yes.
Anyone here see an opportunity? Did you guys see the opportunity?
Yes.
How many people in the Philippines are exposed to radiation from our devices on a daily basis? I want to ask you guys.
Million.
How many million?
100
Guys, 100 million? Do you guys see the amazing opportunity? This is why I'm so excited, especially when I come to the Philippines. A lot of people are exposed to this radiation. So, this is the detector which I showed you. Now, let's do the test with the emGuarde. Okay. So, can I, sir, can I invite you to stand in the center? I'm going to turn this on. Can you hold this detector on your phone? Can you hold it up high so everyone can see it? So, I'm just going to come over here so I can see. So, yes, over here, the reading is there. It is very high, 2,000. Goes up to 2,000. Okay. Now, are you guys ready?
Yes.
No. Are you guys ready?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to count down from 3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
What is the reading there now, guys?
0.
0. Guys. Big round of applause for emGuarde! you saw, it went to 0. Guys, this is the Enagic emGuarde. So, how does emGuarde actually work? Well, we are constantly exposed to all the radiation from our phones, computers, even our hair dryers. Can you imagine that, guys? So basically anything with electricity will emit radiation. Of course, different types of devices will emit stronger radiation. Some might radiation, but it is still not acceptable. So this is the emGuarde. When we turn it on, it harmonizes the environment. It harmonizes a 4-meter radius. Okay? A 4-meter radius. How many meters, guys? 4 meters. About 12 feet. Do you guys use the metric system here? Okay. Protect their families. By a show of hands. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. Well, there you go. This is an amazing opportunity. Just like the amazing Kangen machines, where I believe everybody should be drinking Kangen water. Who agrees everybody should be drinking Kangen water? By a show of hands. Absolutely right. I also believe that everybody should have an emGuarde protecting them and their family at all times. Do you guys agree?
Yes.
Absolutely right. So this is the Enagic emGuarde. Now here is a live blood analysis. So just now we showed you Dr. Magda Habas. I wanted to test, not to say I, we in Malaysia, we wanted to test ourselves. Does it work, this emGuarde? So this subject is a male in his late 80s. Okay? Sorry, 60s. I was testing you guys. So this one here, after 20 minutes of mobile phone use, so he was watching a YouTube video for 20 minutes. So we tested his blood, and you can see a lot of the blood are clumped up together. This is what we call the rouleau formation. So it's clumped up together, it's unable to transport the oxygen properly, it's unable to transport the nutrients, unable to transport the waste out of our cells properly. This is because of the EMR. After this, this is the control test, we turned the emGuarde on. After turning the emGuarde on, we left it for 20 minutes. He was still watching the same YouTube video for another 20 minutes. Are you guys ready?
Yes.
This is what happened. Can somebody say, wow?
Wow.
So over there, after 20 minutes of being in the vicinity, the 4-meter radius of the emGuarde, you can see the blood cells, they start to separate, the red blood cells. So now they're separated, they're able to transport the oxygen, the nutrients, and the waste. So ladies and gentlemen, who here wants to be protected by emGuarde? By a show of hands.
Yes.
Say yes.
Yes.
Who here wants to get other people protected as well? Say yes.
Yes.
Absolutely right, guys. This is the benefits of the emGuarde. Here, we have an ophthalmologist from Taiwan. He wanted to test the microcirculation of the eyeball. Of the eyeball. So here, there's 3 stages of tests. One is a control test, the pre-test. Today we want to look at the PSV. PSV stands for peak systolic velocity. Over here, the start, it was 20.1. The second stage is where he tested the circulation of the blood in the eyeball. After 30 minutes of mobile phone usage, now did the value go up and increase speed up, or did it slow down? It slowed down. Now this is bad. After the third stage, they turned on the emGuarde. And then, did the flow speed up?
Yes.
Yes. It went from 16 to 25. Let's give Enagic a big round of applause. Now, if you notice also, the speed of the microcirculation actually improved over the control test. Now, you must be wondering why. Well, like we said, your mobile phone is not the only device that emits radiation. There is also from the lights, from the screens, from the speakers, from the AC, all of it. And because the emGuarde turned it on, it harmonized the radiation from all the other sources as well. That's why the microcirculation increased. Is that good news?
Yes.
It is. Right? I can see some of you guys are concerned. You're thinking, oh my gosh, I use a lot of devices. In fact, sir, you have 2 mobile phones. Right? So over here, we have the pictures of the microcirculation test. You can see this one here in the ophthalmologist hospital. So here, ladies and gentlemen, who here wants an emGuarde immediately in their home? Hands up high. Say aye.
Aye.
Fantastic. And who here, not only do you want to do that, you want to capitalize on the amazing opportunity of being one of the early birds for emGuarde. Hands up high.
Aye.
Say aye.
Aye.
Fantastic. Fantastic. So ladies and gentlemen, this is the amazing emGuarde, which is already selling in the Philippines. And we have our official pricing from Enagic Philippines. It is 94,000 pesos. Is this inclusive of tax?
Yes.
Inclusive of tax. Let's give Enagic Philippines a big round of applause! Yes. So guys, you can see a huge opportunity here. Is that right?
Yes.
And I love the Philippines because I'm looking at the Philippines, all the land area is nice and spread out. Because Simon here, he just came back from Hong Kong. In Hong Kong, everything's so small. So when we asked them, how many emGuardes you want to buy? And then they say, oh, my house is really small, I just buy a couple units. But here, you probably need more than a couple units. Is that right, guys?
Yes.
Do you guys see the opportunity?
Yes.
Are you guys equally excited?
Yes.
Of course. So this is the emGuarde. Over here, the amazing emGuarde. Now,
Wait, any promotion?
so Jerry asked if there's any promotion. This one you gotta ask Will. So ladies and gentlemen, I've come to the end of my presentation. Thank you guys so much. But before I go, I would like to invite the next person up on the stage. Now this next person, can you guys do me a favor?
Yes.
Can you tell your neighbor, pay special attention? Now why? Because this man is a guy that has done thousands and thousands and thousands of Kangen machine sales. Yes. And not only that, he is personally responsible for opening up many markets, including the Enagic Middle East market, the Turkish market, and the African market. He himself spent close to a year living in Africa full-time to build this business. Do you want to learn from him?
Yes.
So ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome up Mr. Simon Lowe!
Is there only one Malaysian here? I'm so loud over in the Philippines. Alright. Okay. Alright, how are you guys doing?
Good.
Are you guys having value? Are you guys enjoying yourself?
Yes.
Now, you know, just before I go into my emGuarde training session, I actually have a lot of stuff to share with you guys. So you guys you came here on time. You're going to learn a lot about the emGuarde so that you guys have the right knowledge to go out into the market to help inspire more people to come onto the Enagic platform with emGuarde. Alright? Now, before I go into the training session, I just want to share about what Mingwei just shared about myself. I've been in the business for the last 8 years. I'm 682-2. I spent about a year in Nigeria. Anybody been to Nigeria before? Anybody want to go? Yeah? Why? Why do you want to go? They just opened an office, not because of travel, because even when I went and asked my partner, my downline, I said, is there anywhere else I can go and have fun? Not really. there's no sightseeing, nothing, no? People just survive here and they try to, mind their own business. Like, really? But it's a great market. Challenging, very challenging, being Asians, going all the way to Africa to open a market. I didn't know what got into me. I had the guts, the courage. I just went there, opened up the market, got a few people in, and started the business. And the Nigerians are just amazing people. They're amazing people. They're very warm, hospitable. They bring you to their home. They give you all kinds of food, African food, and the business just boom. Because, well, we believe that Enagic and the products are just like a universal language. It doesn't matter where you are. You just go there, show the Kangen water machine, show the emGuarde, and people just instantly connect. All right? And because of being in Nigeria since 2022, August I went to Nigeria. We were working very hard, no office, doing demos in the hotels, customers' house, event halls outside. We were doing it for about 10 months straight. And they opened up an office in Lagos, Nigeria last year in May. All right, so now, if you guys have people in Nigeria and Africa, it's a great market because it's untapped. But now, why we came here in the Philippines on the invitation of Mr. Will and Enagic Philippines and the leaders, because we believe that who here, you like untapped opportunities. Untapped means nobody's doing it and you're the first by show of hands. You like it, all right? So we believe that even though Enagic Philippines has been in the Philippines for how long? How many years? 13 years. But with emGuarde, it's an untapped opportunity. Nobody knows about it yet. You guys are the first people in this seminar room. Okay? So when I saw emGuarde for the first time, this was back in May, or was it June last year? I instantly bought 3 units because I went back home, I bought my detector, I went out and do testing. I need about 3 units in my house to really cover most parts of my house. Not even 100%, but most parts. Yeah? So then I started going more in depth into the technology. I started learning more about electromagnetic radiation and its harm, and we just uncovered a lot of stuff. Okay? Now, before I go into my training, I want to share a video. If Mr. Raymond can help me out with the video. Is it this one, right? It's here. This one. It's not on the slide. It's a separate file that but if you want, because I'm thinking about the audio. Can you go from here? Is this loud enough? No. Alright. But I can add it to my laptop. Okay. So I'm going to show you guys a video. And I shot this video when I was in Hong Kong, and it gave me a shock. Okay, here's the video. Okay. Just get this. Yeah. Okay, good. Where is it? Okay. So this video, I'm gonna explain what is happening, even though the video is self-explanatory. Okay. Guys, okay, it's good enough. Maybe reduce the volume a little bit. I'm totally shocked. What I'm going to show in this video is going to blow some of your minds. My name is Simon. I'm here in Hong Kong. We just checked into our room here, okay, downtown Hong Kong. And when three of us were going to this room, we felt a little bit dizziness, a little bit of weight on our chest, and we knew instantly there was something wrong with the room. And one of our colleagues whipped out this app on his phone, and this app, basically what it does is it can tell you, see, based on where I turn it, it will tell you all the cell towers that is around the area. So take a look at this. I'm going to start from here. You have Vodafone, you have all these kind of different cell towers everywhere. Is that scary? Look at that. It's really scary. Okay, I'm going to come over here. It's a lot of cell towers here. Take a look at that. Everywhere. Right, it's a concrete jungle. Take a look at this. Okay? So, we decided to do some experiment of ourselves. So definitely the emGuarde is, we have our emGuarde with us everywhere we go, but it's not turned on now. I'm going to use the first tool that we have here, which is the RD9300. I want you to see this. I'm going to turn on the RD. In this room itself, it's showing about 0 of power density. So this room actually is fine. Okay? However, I'm going to go nearer to the window and I'm going to go nearer to the cell tower. I want you guys to see the power density reading coming out onto my detector right now. It is 2,900 microwatts of power density. And the cell tower is right there. You can see the 3 sticks is right there. It's about 50 meters away. And that's on this side of the room. So can you look at this? If I go back here, when the ring is away, it drops back down to 0, 200. And the moment I come to this side, where there's also a lot of cell power, look at that. I don't even have to go near the window. It's already 2,600, 2,700. Unbelievable. This is Hong Kong. All right, look at that. Everywhere. Okay? Now, I have my colleague here, David. David, say hi to the camera. So now we're going to show you something that was unbelievable. We have not seen this in most of the places that we've done testing before. Yep. But we're seeing this here. So the emGuarde is still off. This is called the SDR software. It's gonna actually detect the electromagnetic interference in this area. So what David's going to do now, he's going to actually turn on the software. You can download this software on your Android phone. You just have to pay a couple of dollars to get the software. So I want you guys to see. Just zoom in on the phone, then you can just take a look at this. I don't know if you guys can hear it. So the software is connected to a dongle that connects to an antenna, and the antenna is receiving the interference around this room. It's unbelievable. Take a look at the chart. It is crazy. Absolutely crazy. We've not seen this anywhere else. Okay? So now what we want to find out is, if we have the emGuarde, what can it do to us and what can it do for us? So it's not connected. Now, I'm going to connect to the SDR software. I'm going to turn it on. 3, 2, 1. Look at the wave spectrum, it's gone down. I'm going to unplug the emGuarde. Alright, take a look at the suppression, guys. Here, take a look at the suppression. Boom.
Papa.
The emGuarde turned on. And let me turn on the detector.
Kaya nga po.
Look at that. Where it was showing 2,900, it's now showing 0. So then you can come here. The window is showing 0. So guys, this place and this technology is unbelievable. Like you guys are what? How about that? Yeah! Amazing? Alright. And that software is that software detects, because it's not like the other kind of pollution where you can see, oh, it's the air is so dirty, let's not go there. Or the water is so dirty, let's not drink it. Now, electromagnetic radiation is invisible. You can't smell it, you can't see it, you can't touch it, but it affects us every single day. That's why we call it the invisible killer. Tell your partner, invisible killer. And the biggest thing are our kids, because a child's brain absorbs 10 times. How many times?
10 times.
A child's brain and nervous system absorbs 10 times more radiation than a full-grown adult. Why? Because their skulls are not as hard as us. Because our skull, our bone, is actually a defender. But a child's brain, a little baby, 1-year-old, 1.5-year-old, their skulls are still really soft. So when you expose them to iPads and all this kind of stuff, have you guys noticed that cases of ADHD, concentration problem, all kinds of stuff, is increasing rapidly? Why? Are they eating the wrong stuff? No. Maybe. But what has changed in the last 20 years? What has changed?
Technology.
Gadgets. Okay? So this is what a lot of studies have shown. So let me go back to my slides. I'm going to go in depth on, let me do this later, okay, on why emGuarde is truly essential. So let me just start. Good. Okay, let me just start here. For those of you who could ask, let me press the clicker. Okay, so I just want to share with you a few points on the certification. Now, emGuarde is already certified by SGS. It's a Swiss body to certify all these devices. And under FGS, there is the CE. Anybody know CE? It's for the European market. Okay? And then there's FCC for the American market, North America, Canada market. All right? And this is how they do all the testings. Very boring stuff. I don't like this kind of stuff, but it's just to show you guys since it's launch day. So it's all tested that it's good for people to use. All right? It's safe. It's undergone stringent testing from SGS. All right? That's the emGuarde. And now emGuarde has a new slogan. We know Kangen Water. What's the slogan for Kangen Water?
Change your water.
Change your water, change your life. And now with emGuarde, is our environment very important as well?
Yes.
So now the new slogan, can we all read it together? 1, 2, 3.
Change
your environment, change your life. Because if you saw that video I shot in Hong Kong, that environment, do you know when we walked in, I checked it, we had 3 rooms. I checked in my room, I was fine. Honestly, I was fine. My colleague David's room, he was also fine. And we had a third colleague named Ben. Ben is like our tech guy. And he said, come over to our room, let's discuss about the presentation later and all that. So we went in and we instantly felt something was different. That's why we started to whip out the detector, the tools and everything. And we found out that interference was unbelievable. Alright? And we found out that there were about 20 to 30 cell towers blasting radiation onto this room. So can you imagine if we didn't have these tools or the knowledge, and you go into certain places. Have you been to certain places? You go into these certain places and you feel not right?
Yeah.
Maybe haunted. You thought there's ghosts, haunted or something. But it could be the interference that you can't see. Alright, the energy level. Some people talk about energy. But energy is also to do with frequencies, okay? And waves, okay? So this is Enagic. Now I'm going to go a little bit technical, but if it's too technical for you guys, I still believe that you guys need to have this information. Alright, because when you go out there, people are going to ask you a lot of questions and you need to have the knowledge. Now, why was emGuarde designed and developed? Okay, now this is a report that was published in 1997, so that's about close to 30 years ago, 20 odd years ago. And it's by the FCC. And what did they say in this report? They actually say that the human body, us, absorbs radio frequency energy at some frequencies more efficiently than others. And what is the range? Can you guys see? What does it say?
30 to 300.
30 to 300 megahertz. Anybody familiar with hertz? Hertz means in 1 second, 1 hertz, there's 1 oscillation. You know frequencies like this, right? So 1 hertz means in 1 second, 1 oscillation. 1 megahertz is 1 million hertz per second. Means in 1 second, it does this 1,000,000 times. So 30, don't just look at the 30 and think it's very small. 30 means it's 30 million oscillations in 1 second. To 300, which is about how much? 300 million. That's how you lead to headache, dizziness, blood rouleau formation. Some people can't sleep well at night. Anybody experienced this before? When you talk to your friend, your girlfriend, boyfriend on the phone for a little bit too long, and then your ear starts to get a little bit hot?
Yes.
So when your ear starts to get a little bit hot, what do you do? What do you do? You should stop, right? But what do? You change the other ear. Okay? I don't know about you, but I love to go to TGI Fridays. I like to eat a piece of steak. Do you know how to cook steak? So first, when we're talking on the phone, we are searing this side of your face first and your brain. So once this is nice and cooked, we flip the other side and cook the other side. It's like searing a piece of steak. Alright, it may sound like a joke to you, but radiation actually does cook our brains a little bit. Alright? And that's why you feel the heat. Anybody, maybe you have young kids at home, maybe even yourself, you like to watch YouTube on Netflix or play games, and after using your phone for a while, you feel numbness in your fingers?
Yes.
Why do you think so? It's because your blood, these red blood cells are clumping together, the rouleau formation. Right? So all these will lead to the lack of oxygen, it would lead to headache, it will lead to shivering in worst cases. Anybody have heard of this term called EHS? Extremely high sensitive towards electromagnetic radiation. There are people like that even when they get exposed to certain waves, they can get even cold shivers and get sick. Alright? But not everybody's like that, but they are. Okay? Now, this is a chart that we have recently decided to share with everybody because we felt that it was too technical, but because of the launch, I decided to take it out. Now, this is from the FCC. Now, FCC, once again, is from the US, so any electronics, any phone, laptop, Wi-Fi router, communication device in the US has to go through FCC testing. Right? They are the main body. It's something like WQA for water machines. Okay? Because we're all Kangen machine members here. Now, let me explain this chart so you guys can really understand. Okay? Now, it says here, FCC limits for maximum permissible exposure, MPE. So what is MPE? It's trying to tell us what is the maximum exposure that we humans are allowed to be in those kind of environments. Okay? Now, I want you to look at two. There's the x-axis and the y-axis. Now, here on the x, you can see this is frequency. Can you guys see that? So the frequency, we go in megahertz, 0.3, 1, 3, 30, 300, all the way up to 300,000. Okay? So this frequency. Now, here is what we call power density. What do we call it?
Power density.
Now, this detector, when just now Ming Wei was showing the gentleman's phone and some of the areas, it was showing a reading of how much on average? 1,500, 2,000, right? That 2,000 is the power density, which means how much power does this frequency actually carry? The higher, the worse. Okay? So power density is measured in microwatts. Microwatts. Can everybody repeat microwatts?
Micro.
So that's how much power, right? Watts. Now I want you guys to see this really interesting stuff. So I want you guys to see there's two lines. There is the full black line, the full line, and there is the dotted line. So what's the difference? The black line is for occupational or controlled exposure, meaning these are people in the electric fields. They're working in power stations. They're working in power lines. They have the right gear, protective gear. So their exposure limit is higher than us because we don't have protective gears, right? So take a look at this. Can you see when the frequency is at about 1 megahertz, 1.34, what is the power density allowed for these people to be exposed to? 100,000, which means if we take this detector, they can take it up to 100,000, no problem. Why? Because when the frequency is at about 1 to 2 megahertz, it doesn't really harm or penetrate the body. Okay? However, once it starts to come nearer to 30 to 300, what is the maximum permissible exposure for people with occupational exposure? How much? It's 1,000 maximum. The dotted line is general population, you and I. For the general population, the line is lower. What is the line? Can you guys see the number? It's 200 microwatts. But how much is our phone emitting? 2,000. How much was the TV emitting? 1,500. How much was those cell towers in Hong Kong emitting? 2,900. You are talking about a exposure limit that exceeded 10 to 15 times the maximum exposure. Ladies and gentlemen, is that scary?
Yes.
Is that worrying? But the thing is this, if too many people in the public knows about this, they will be questioning, why am I living in such areas? Alright, I should move to another area. So this kind of information, we need to educate on a case-by-case basis. Let just the people around us know and spread the power of emGuarde. Okay? But don't create any panic. So some people may ask, so Simon, what about frequencies above 300? Once you escape the 300 mark, you go towards 1,500 to 3,000, can you see that the permissible exposure increases? Which means you can actually expose to higher power density because the body doesn't absorb too much of it. Do you guys understand this slide so far? It's very powerful. It's very, very powerful. So some people may ask you, Simon, I have my Wi-Fi at home. Wi-Fi is how many gigahertz? When you connect to your Wi-Fi, do you sometimes see 2.4 or 5? 2.4 means 2,400 megahertz. 5 gigahertz is 5,000 megahertz. Does it mean it's not dangerous? No. But it is not as dangerous as frequencies between 30 to 300. Are you guys getting me so far?
Yeah.
I hope it's not too technical, but I believe you guys need to have this information. And emGuarde is designed to protect you between 3 megahertz all the way up to 1,000 megahertz. Is that good?
Yes.
Right? So they're even doing above 300. Right? But they know 300 is the most dangerous. 33. But they did it up to 1,000. So can we give emGuarde a big round of applause, everyone? Powerful. Okay? So now you understand more on the power density, the microwatts. Okay? So that's why we have something called the green zone, where it's acceptable, and anything above that is not acceptable. Alright? So all this based on. Okay, sorry. So I want to talk a little about how does the emGuarde work. So you'll be wondering, so how is this little black box? You know, it was so funny. Myself and Mingo were traveling, went on a plane, okay, and then we plugged it into the USB. You know, because you have USB, right, on the plane. Now, if you travel a lot, anybody travel a lot, even domestically, okay, and you have to have the emGuarde. You know why? When you're sitting on the seat, what is behind your back? It's the monitor of the guy behind, and it's right behind your brain. It's crazy, okay? So I always travel with the emGuarde and plug it in. And very funny, this stewardess just came and asked, sir, what is that thing? I said, it's your black box. But she didn't understand it. Oh, okay. Then she it's a black box, right? So a lot of people, because it's a black box, some of you just got the joke. I think some of you, after 2 days, you were sitting at home eating breakfast. I got it! Okay. So, what the emGuarde does, it's a harmonics frequency. This is the key to emGuarde. I want you to tell your neighbor left and right. Harmonics frequency. Because we're going to be using this word a lot. The harmonics frequency, the scientific term is deconstructive opposing amplitude frequency. But that's a mouthful. What it basically means is it will harmonize the wavelength of the electromagnetic radiation to create a neutralization. Example, when we talk about Kangen water, when our body is too acidic, what do we do? What do we do? We alkalize it. It's a similar concept, but now we're talking about electromagnetic radiation. Okay? So that's how you can explain it to your customer. So opposing amplitudes to the corresponding radiation frequencies in the air, they suppress each other or cancel each other out altogether. And by the way, this technology is patented worldwide, which means Enagic is the only company that have access to this device to market it around the world. Is that good news, ladies and gentlemen?
Yes.
It is patented worldwide. Okay? And so these are harmonics. I'm not going to go too much into it. We normally cover this in our intensive training. Okay, so basically it talks about the radius, it talks about the harmonics frequency, also known as cancellation frequency, and it breaks the pathway between 3 to 1000 megahertz, hence reducing the high frequency electromagnetic noise within its coverage. Have you heard of, like different animals and humans, we can hear different noises?
Yes.
Example, there are certain noises that we can hear, a dog can't hear. But there are certain noises a dog can hear, we can't hear. Now, I want you to understand this. What if I'm going to send out a frequency right now, and it's going to sound like this? It's very noisy, right? You can't sleep at night, okay? However, once I make that frequency high enough, maybe 25,000 hertz or 30,000 hertz, which is still quite low, okay? You can't hear it anymore. But does it mean it doesn't exist? Just because you can't hear it does not mean it doesn't exist. And that's why a lot of people suffer from sleeping problems. Okay? Because there is a noise in the background, but you just can't hear it. But our brain is very intelligent. It picks up everything. When it gets irritated, we can't sleep well at night. Okay? But we don't know. Okay? So how does emGuarde work? This is how the technology looks like. Now, this is basically the construction of the technology, and the core technology processor contains the core harmonics technology of emGuarde. That is where they generate the harmonics deconstructive frequency to be sent out by two high quality solenoid to be able to cover 4 meters of radius. Okay, so this is how it looks like inside. We decided to do this in case some of you decided to buy one home. I want to see what's inside. And you go and open it up, and it's very hard for you to put it back in. You're going to scratch the plastics by the side. So don't have to do it. This is how it looks like. Okay? So you have, this is how the emGuarde looks like. And the thing is this. I was going to say something. Yeah? So don't try to open it because you're going to scratch the plastic. You can still put it back in, but it's not going to be nice anymore. Okay? So it sends out the frequency. This is what I wanted to say. Now, when the emGuarde goes through quality testing in the factory, the quality measurement for emGuarde, the radius, is about 12 meters. How many meters? 12 meters. Okay? But that is in an open area. Open area means what? No metal walls, no glass, no beams. Okay? So we know that in a standard home, Malaysia, Philippines, wherever, you have a lot of walls and metals everywhere. So that's why Enagic has decided to be more conservative in their what do you call that, product description and say how many meters? 4 meters. So you know Enagic is very conservative, right? They never like to overpromise. They just say 4 meters. If it covers more than that, it's a bonus. Okay? So this is emGuarde. Okay? Alright. So I want to show you guys a few things. Okay. Yep, good. Okay, good. Alright. Okay. Now, I'm coming to the Now, in terms of technical training, that's about it because this technology is so easy. You plug and play. And for those of you, have you guys traveled with your Kangen machines before? Anybody traveled with your Kangen machines before? Is it to do business or to drink the water? Both. Okay, good. I like it. So now, when I traveled with my Kangen machine to Nigeria, let me tell you what I found. I was so excited. I got there, and there was like 15 people waiting to see the demo. Oh, this guy from Malaysia is coming. We have to bring more people. I was so excited. I plugged the machine in, 9.5. But something told me inside, let's check the water first. So I put the pH tester. Was orange color. I was like, did I mess up my machine on the way here? What's happening? So luckily we brought 2 machines. We hooked up the second machine. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Orange color. Because the source water is so bad. It's so acidic. Okay? So we learned, we took months of going to get different filters, a lot of headache, a lot of stress. A lot of stress. And when you go to a Nigerian filter market, I want this. Sorry, we don't have it. Maybe you can bring it in for us. So I'm here to buy things, I'm not here to sell you something. So it was very difficult. So why am I telling this story? I always like to tell this story. When I saw emGuarde, the reason why I got so excited is, for me to do a demo, do I need to buy the tomatoes? Anybody you have probably spent a lot of money on tomatoes? I think the last 8 years, I don't know, it could be $1,000 or $2,000 of tomatoes in the last 8 years. All these Coca-Cola, Gatorade. So emGuarde, why I like it is because not because I feel Kangen is so hard to sell. Kangen is amazing. It's still very easy to sell. But with emGuarde, I can just have my detector in my bag. I can have my emGuarde in my bag, and I just carry a power bank. I can do the demo in a coffee shop, in a Starbucks. And I guess, how long does it take you to do a Kangen demo, a full one, and close the sale, everything? Anybody?
45 minutes.
But you talk too much, 45 minutes. How long? 2? 3, 20 minutes? 3 to 5 minutes? Very good, you have to learn from her. Some of you 15 minutes, 20 minutes, okay? My record for emGuarde is 3 minutes. You know why? I didn't even have my slides. I had my emGuarde with me. I took it out. My friend said, "What is that?" I said, "Oh, let me show you. I just bought this." I put the detector on his phone. It was showing like 1,800, something like that. I plug in the emGuarde. Bloop. It gave me one. That's it. He bought the unit. Do you need to show all the slides? No need. The slides for you. It doesn't mean you need to show it. Alright? So I close sales, I don't use the slides. I just go to the house. You know, there are certain houses where you have this electric box. We call it DB box. Just notice, some of these DB box, my house is like this. Behind the DB box, the wall behind it could be a room. It could be some parents' room, kids' room. And radiation, electromagnetic radiation, passes through the walls. Don't believe me? Take a detector, go back home to your DB box, go behind it, behind a wall, you can still detect it. And that is actually emitting a lot of radiation. DB box is one of the highest in your house. Alright? So when you turn on the emGuarde, so if the electromagnetic radiation can go through walls, can the emGuarde harmonics also go through walls?
Yes.
Answer is yes. Okay? However, if your wall has a lot of electric cable or metal beams, it may affect some of the efficiency of the harmonics going through. Because electrical cables and metals can block some of the harmonics. Are you guys aware of that?
Yes.
Frequencies. Okay? So I'm going to go in a little bit onto, who here you already want to get an emGuarde today by a show of hands? How many of you? Hands up, hands up. Tell me today, tomorrow. Maybe think about it. Maybe talk to my husband, my wife. Now the thing is this. How much is it? 90 something thousand? 94,000. Is that a lot of money? Yes. But do you know what's more money? Buying a brand new iPhone 15 for 100,000 pesos. That's true, right? I mean, you still buy it, you still have to use it, but you're buying a radiation source for 100,000. And now, Enagic is telling you there is an anti-radiation device for 94,000 that doesn't just protect you, but your entire family. It's all about value proposition. It depends on how you look at this technology. For me, I bought 3 without even thinking because I have a 1-year-old niece at home. She's glued, like what Mingwei said, glued to technology, glued to the iPad. We have to start protecting them. And not just that. Who have elderly people at home? Anybody? Elderly people. Your parents maybe? Electromagnetic radiation, if you go on Google, it leads to a lack of stability and balance. That's why a lot of people, older people, they fall. One of the testing that will be introduced by the developer of emGuarde soon is by our university report. How does emGuarde also improve the balance in elderly people? It is not ready yet. I'm just letting you guys know. Okay? So this is one of the things that they are going through. Okay? So guys, 90-something thousand, you get 1 unit, protect your entire family. To me, it's dirt cheap. Okay? It's dirt cheap. Now, when you get it back home and you want to install the emGuarde, please make sure you use a single power socket. Don't use one of those multiple adapters. Why? Because this multiple adapter, depending on the quality, sometimes the current is not stable. When the current is not stable, the coverage of the harmonics is also not stable. Okay? So always use a single power socket. Okay? Quite simple. Now, the emGuarde, if you open up the box, it comes with a nice black box like this. It comes with a USB-C cable. It does not come with an adapter. Now why? It's so that it's easy for you guys to sell even overseas or go through customs. And it also allows you guys to plug the emGuarde into your cars. Anybody drive hybrid or electric cars here? You have it? You have the emGuarde already? You're already using it? Anybody is driving like hybrid cars, electric cars? Anybody? Not really. Okay, now, just because you're not driving hybrid cars doesn't mean your car doesn't have radiation. Just take the detector, you'll find out. I have a few cars at home. Every single car, when I turn it on, you know the LCD screen nowadays is so huge, it blasts out a lot of radiation, above 2,000 microwatts. And when you're driving, you're wondering why you're so tired. But if you have some friends with hybrid cars, electric vehicles, their radiation is through the roof. Through the roof. Okay? Very, very high. Because you are basically sitting on a battery. Okay? You're sitting on a battery. Okay, where was I? Okay, so you have to get your own adapters. I don't know, will we have some arrangements to bring in some good adapters in the Enagic Philippines? We can talk about that. But at the moment, when you go out, you can get it online. Do not buy adapters that has multiple outputs. Can I have a marker pen? Is that okay? Is that a marker pen here? I just want to write it out because it's kind of small. Thanks. Okay. Now, the adapter that you want to buy must be single output 5V 2 to 6 ampere. Just write this down or take a photo. Okay? Now this would apply to the power banks as well if you want to get power banks. Okay? So 5V, this is the voltage, this is the ampere. Okay? So if you find something that says 5V, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, it's fine. It's anywhere between 2 to 6 is okay. Alright? Now what do you want to not buy? Have you guys seen some adapters? It says their output 5V, 4.5V, 9V, 12V. We call this multiple output. So when you have a multiple output, when the voltage becomes too high, what could happen to the emGuarde is it may fuse the bulb of the emGuarde because the voltage is too high. So when you guys get the emGuarde, get the adapter, make sure it is single output 5V, single output, yeah, only 5V, 2 to 6 ampere. It's a very common thing. Just go to any electric shop, show them this, they will tell you where to buy it. It's very cheap. Okay? So this one. So far so good?
Yeah.
Very good. Okay? What else? same thing, all right? Don't go for the multiple USB inlets or output. Go for the single one, it's gonna be more stable. So we do everything to make sure that the harmonics coverage is constant and effective. Okay, that's what we're doing with all this. What else? Okay, now the emGuarde comes with a USB-C cable, this black cable. Now, some of you may have phones in your house that also has the USB-C cable. Now, try not to, or try to avoid completely this type of USB-C because the emGuarde USB-C cable, the head of it is longer than the standard one. That is because of the design of the emGuarde. So if you use the other USB-C, sometimes the current may not go into the processor. And the light doesn't come out, you think there's something wrong with the emGuarde. How come it's not turning on? Make sure you use the cable provided by emGuarde, okay? It's longer, okay? So just use the one that comes with the machine. Okay, so where do you want to put the emGuarde? The emGuarde is something like a Wi-Fi router because it's frequency, right? So you want to put somewhere in your house where it covers the important areas. Example, where are the important areas that you spend a lot of time in your house? Your living room, your bedroom. Your bedroom. Why? Because you guys sleep 6, 7, 8 hours. I know some of you sleep 12 hours, I don't know, a day. And that's where you need to protect yourself. Who here you charge your room, charge your phones in your room, your laptops? Some of you? Yeah? Guilty? Guilty, alright? Now, do you know, just because you don't charge it next to your face, doesn't mean it's not affecting you because the frequency wave travels between 1 to 3 meters from your phone. So just because you put it there, which is 1 feet away, it doesn't mean it's not affecting you. Okay? So I know, we can't live without our phones. It's the last thing. We don't even kiss our wives and husbands good night. We kiss the phone first, and before we go to sleep, right? So we understand that. So we can't live without phones, but we need to protect ourselves. So don't put it near metal, aluminum, glass, or mirror. Because all these things can affect frequencies. Just put somewhere neutral in your house, okay? Now, anybody's room looks like this? Anybody? Nobody. No computer genius here, IT guys. Now you may see some of these things in your customer's house and you may say that, oh my God, I need this emGuarde and because this place is so messed up, I'm going to put right in the middle of it. Now, don't do this because this is what we call high electrostatic environment. Any area that has high electrostatic is not good for electronics in general. So, because we know the coverage of emGuarde is 4 meters minimum and above, you want to put the emGuarde not in the middle of it, but put it somewhere that covers the 4 meters. Are you guys getting what I'm trying to say? So you don't have to put it right in the middle. Okay, just put it somewhere that can cover it, that's fine. What else? Anybody have this? I think this is quite common. Below our computer desk and all that. So again, high electrostatic, don't put it there. As long as it's in the coverage range, it's fine. Okay? Don't put it in the high electrostatic environment. Okay? Now, some people may even say, so Simon, I don't want to put it, I'm just going to put it on the floor. Now on the floor is fine if you're living on a landed property, it should be okay. But you generally want to put it a little bit higher. Why? Because sometimes, especially if you're living in apartments, anybody living in apartments? Condominiums? Or most of you are living in homes. Now if you're living in a condominium, okay, what is above you? Wiring, right? What is below you? Wiring. So when you put it on the floor, it could actually get affected by electrostatic from the floor. Okay? So what you want to do is, if you want to put it on the floor, it's fine, but put it on top of the emGuarde box. So this actually elevates the emGuarde. And some people ask, must I put the emGuarde like this? Or must it be like this? Answer is no. You can always just put it like this. You can always put it like this. It's fine. Okay? This one is because of aesthetics. Okay? We show you guys. But actually you can put it like this. Because you are afraid some people hit it, right? It may fall. Okay? So you can put it like this, it's fine. Okay? Now, demonstration experiences. Now, who here you also want to get the radiation detector? By show of hands. Because without this, you can't do a demo, by the way. You can talk, if you're a good talker, you can sell, but the best is to show. Because people always doubt what they hear, they never doubt what they see. You have to get this, okay? Now, this detector, what you're seeing in this ring, okay, it has a lot of copper coil in the ring that is supposed to receive the data from the radiation to go into the LCD screen. So it's made out of high quality copper. So when our hand sometimes has moisture, if you hold the ring and you keep on doing it, the moisture may oxidize the copper. So don't hold the ring. You always hold the detector like this. Okay? So don't try to do this. I don't know what is this. Okay? This. Even this is no good because you're also quite near to the ring. What you want to hold is away from the ring. Okay? So that's the correct way of doing it. What else? Okay. Now, does it have the bag inside? Okay. Now, every radiation detector comes with a PE bag and it comes with a silica gel. Can you see the silica gel inside?
Yes.
That is to make sure that the humidity doesn't get into the detector. So every time you finish the demo, make sure you put the detector back into the bag and seal it tight. Okay, that's all you guys need to do. So don't throw the bag away. You must always keep the bag and always put the detector back into the bag. Okay, don't just leave it outside. Don't put it in high temperatures, low temperatures. Put it in normal room temperature. It is not waterproof. It's not, so sometimes when it's raining, when you try to do a demo, even though it's raining, I know some of you are very hardworking, you go outside, look at the cell tower, it's so much radiation, and then pew, your detector goes to zero. Okay? So it's not waterproof, don't do it. Or some of you may be selling emGuarde and then you also sell Kangen water. Then some of the 9.5 click onto the detector, it also goes to zero. So it's not waterproof, okay? So please be very, very careful. And when the detector battery icon pops up, can you guys see this? Means you have to have a new battery. My suggestion to you is because you're going to be doing a lot of demos, I always have an extra battery in my bag. You don't want to come into an instance where you didn't have battery. Okay, always have an extra battery. And the battery is a 9V battery, the same battery for your ORP meter. Same one. Just make sure to don't buy the alkaline battery. You know when you go to a 7-Eleven, you buy an Energizer, there is a normal one, the heavy duty, and there's an alkaline battery. Don't buy the alkaline battery because the voltage is too high for this detector. Just buy the normal heavy duty one. The rechargeable one, we have not tested it, but sometimes it deteriorates after a few recharge because when the battery power is not enough, this icon may come up. So I prefer just to throw it away and get a new one. It's very cheap anyways, right? It's like $2 or $3 or something. Okay? So, okay. Now, let me ask you guys a question. When a customer has a house, whether he lives in a small apartment or maybe he lives in a bigger house, normally Kangen water machines, how many do they buy? Normally they'll buy one. Some people buy two. But the great news about emGuarde is when the guy lives in a huge house, is one emGuarde enough? It's no. The record so far in Malaysia, to my knowledge, one customer, one house, bought 6 emGuarde. Because he lives in a huge house. And when the agent came into his house, I want one here, 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 and here. 6 emGuardes. So for all of us distributors, is that good news? Yes. 6 emGuardes. Okay? So imagine you have 2 customers that bought 6 emGuardes. You are already on 12 group sales. You're already a 3A distributor. It's amazing. Okay? Now, I want to share with you guys something important on how you should be testing the range of the emGuarde. So sometimes you may have 2 emGuardes in one room. The correct way to test is to turn on one at a time. Because when you turn on 2 emGuardes, what's going to happen? Okay? Now let's say you have emGuarde here, and you have emGuarde number 2 here. So this is 1 and 2. Now according to the developer, the factory of emGuarde, the more emGuardes you can have in a place, the better it is. The more, the better. However, when you have an emGuarde coverage, let's say it covers this area, okay, and the second one also covers this area, this is what we call a cross-section. Can you guys see this? Now this cross-section, there's nothing wrong with it. You can stand in it, there's no problem, you're still covered. However, this cross-section creates another form of electrostatic that may affect the reading of the detector. So the emGuarde is fine, but the detector may start to beep because the 2 harmonics starts to clash with each other. So you may feel like, hey, how come this area there is reading, am I not protected? Answer is no. It is the electrostatic in the environment has caused a false reading. Are you guys clear on this so far? So if you guys want to test, you must always turn it one at a time. Okay? Okay, this one is it's a video shot by our colleague back in Malaysia. Now, I'm going to play the video. The video is in Mandarin.
特别是你看到你做 demo 时候呢，应该是within 4个米的你看它的那个距离呢。可是你那个想，
You can see sometimes that even you are within the 4 meters, the detector can ring. Why? It's because of electrostatic. It could be coming from the floor. It could be coming from the carpet. Most likely it's from the carpet and the floor. So what you need to do is just to move your body. But the detector and the phone is still in the same place. It has not moved. Okay? Because our body is a static, what do you call it? We can absorb static. Don't believe me, next time you go shopping, sometimes have you touched your wife or your boyfriend before? Crack, like that. Hey, how come I've been with you 20 years and you still can shock me, man? Okay? That is what we call electrostatic. Okay, crack like that. Okay? So our body can absorb static. So sometimes, depending on the shoes or our clothes, we can absorb it and it can affect the detector's reading. So all you need to do is this. The detector and the phone stays here. It's just that your body have to move away from the static environment. Okay? And you can see the detector will go back to 0. Okay? So this is some of the experiences that we've experienced when we did demos, just to share with you guys. Okay? Okay, this one, not really important, but just to show you guys anyways, it is a static ball.
Hi guys, so in this video, we will be explaining how static affects sensitive equipment like the RD. So now, I'm going to use the RD to scan the phone, as you can see. So it's picking up radiation reading. But as soon as I turn on the emGuarde, as you can see, the white LED light is on. So the radiation is gone, okay? So I'm going to move all the way back just to show you that emGuarde can actually cover up to that range, okay? It's further away from the table. So what we're going to do next is we're going to turn on the static ball. And as soon as I turn on the static ball, I'm going to show you that, the static is able to trigger the RD to beep. Okay, so once I scan the phone and I go near to the static ball, the RD 900 begins to beep again, although it is within the coverage range of the emGuarde. Okay, it's very near, it's less than 1 meter. But as soon as I move away from the static ball, as you can see, the radiation detector stops beeping because emGuarde still functions. It's just that whenever we go near to a static area, the RD 900 will get affected by the static and it begins to beep again. Okay? So now I'm going to turn off the static ball. So now the area is without electrostatic, as you can see. And as I scan the phone again, there is no beeping. So during the demonstration, don't get panicked. Whenever there is a beeping sound here and there, it is actually due to electrostatic. But your emGuarde is still working fine.
So far, so good? So this is something you may experience, and we would like to, because we've been selling it for 7 months, we would like to just give you this heads up. Okay? Now, electrostatic. So this one you can find it on Google. Static electricity can also affect other components, especially semiconductors in the detectors are often quite sensitive. Such events can lead to false readings or damage the instrument. Okay? So that is the reason for it. Okay? So, documentation. Okay, this one we shared just now already. Okay. Yeah. Okay, now I want to go to something, my last segment before I pass it back to Diana. Right here. Yeah. Okay. I want to touch a little bit on the commission. I don't know, Will, has this been shared with the distributor so far? It has been shared. So let me just do it again. Okay? Now, emGuarde, being an Enagic product, it follows the 8-point system. The same system. Okay? But there's a little bit of difference. Now, what is the difference? There is something called the Enagic member, which means people that have already bought the Kangen machine, the Wukon, or the Spa. This is what we call Enagic. You Great. Okay? Now, for us, for you guys, the commission 1A is at 4,911 pesos. Okay? 1A commission. Okay? 1A commission. Now, you will be bringing in people that come into the Enagic business with emGuarde. Means they have not bought a machine yet, nothing, they're new. Okay? Now, let me ask you this. Are there a lot of people out there in the Philippines that have not bought a counting machine yet? Millions, right? The market is still huge. Okay? So when they come in, now I truly believe in Asian markets like us, the counting machine, even though it's amazing, but not everybody can afford it.
Yes.
Not everybody. They want it, but they can't afford it. But emGuarde now, at 90-something thousand peso, allows and open up a new opportunity for people that couldn't come into Enagic before to come into Enagic now. Are you guys seeing what I'm talking about?
Yes.
So I truly believe that this is Enagic 2.0. Would it be good if you were the first few people in the country to know about Kangen 13 years ago? Would it be good for you? Or maybe you were the first few people around the world to know about Kangen machine? But now, it's been 13 years, it's still a huge market, but now you guys are the first few people to know about emGuarde. So to me, when I look at it, it's Enagic 2.0. It's another big wave in the Enagic history. Alright? And Philippines is the number what country? So we launched Malaysia, Singapore, Hong Kong, and Philippines. Yeah? Philippines and Hong Kong at the same time. So you can say that you guys are the third country in the entire Enagic world to have emGuarde. Is that amazing, ladies and gentlemen? Okay? Give yourself a finger round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? So non-Enagic member, it is at 3,820 peso. Is it peso or pesos? With the S, right? Pesos. So peso is 1. Okay. So pesos. 3,820 pesos. Okay? Now I have a few examples. Example. May. Let's say May is an Enagic member. Means they already got a Kangen machine. And May sells to Andy. But Andy buys an emGuarde, right? So May will receive the higher one, which is 4,911. And May also sells to Kim, that already is an existing customer. She also receives 4,911. However, when Andy sells it to Vivian, okay? If Vivian also buys an emGuarde, how much money does Andy make? 3,820 pesos, okay? Because non-member. But because you are a member, how much do you make on the overriding? 4,900. This is quite simple to understand, okay? Example number 2. Eddie, non-Enagic registered distributor, got an emGuarde, sells to Lee that buys an emGuarde, how much does he make? 3,820. When he sells to Grayson, how much does he make? The 1A full commission. How much is the 1A for SD 501 here in the Philippines? 12,000, right? Okay. I didn't know, so I just put in the US dollar. So when Eddie sells a Kangen machine, he would receive 12,000 pesos. So the question a lot of people ask is, can an emGuarde distributor sell Kangen machine? The answer is yes. So they can buy emGuarde and sell Kangen machine. You know what some of my team members are doing? They get people to buy emGuarde, sell Kangen machine, and calculate just within a few machines, they get back their entire emGuarde investment. Amazing, yeah? That depends on how you guys want to do your business. Okay? Now, Eddie sells to Kwan, guys buys an emGuarde, same thing, 3,820. Now, don't look at the 1A, 2A. We're not talking about the 1A, 2A, 3A here. So we're just talking about the commission value. Okay? Now, once Eddie, he himself gets his own machine under his own name, what happens? He now becomes a member, which means on the next emGuarde, his commission no longer is 3,008. He will start to earn 4,911. Is that good? Do you know what's going to happen in your team? You're going to get a lot of people that come into this business, okay? You're going to sell the emGuarde, and they're looking at, I can be making more from the emGuarde sales. What do you think your clients will do? What do you think your distributors will do? How much is the difference between 4,911 and this? It's about 1,000, right? 1,100 pesos per A. So what if this person is 4A? How much is the difference? It's 4,400. Every sale. He knows, or he or she knows, he can be making 4,400 more on every sale on his direct and even his indirect. And when you show him a Kangen demo, guess what? It's very, very easy for them to buy a machine. And they don't even ask you for a discount. Why? What discount? The company is giving you 4 A's or 5 A's back as commission. Are you guys following what I'm trying to say? So this is how I've been building my team. Okay? That most of the distributors that came into emGuarde to start the business under my team in Malaysia, almost all of them bought their Kangen machine subsequently. Alright? This is what the results we are seeing in Malaysia. Okay? Example number 2. Okay. Are you guys familiar with the word SP, special point? SP, right? Now, machine has SP, but one thing about emGuarde is emGuarde does not have SP. What does that mean? What does that mean? Now, we know for you to earn the maximum commission from your overriding for machines, you must do one sale every how many days? How many days? 90 days, okay? So, for emGuarde, there's no SP. That's why you can see machine is 120%, emGuarde is 100%, okay? Now, let's say for machines, after 90 days, you don't have any sale, and you have an indirect sale, you would receive just your normal bonus without the SP. Am I right, ladies and gentlemen? Yep. But for emGuarde, even after 91 days to 180 days, your commission is still 100%. Is that good news? Yep. Wow, don't have to do sales. Wow, I can just relax at home. Wow. Okay, don't take it the wrong way. This business, ladies and gentlemen, you have to move very fast. Because you know what happened in Malaysia already? Some of the people, it's okay, let's take our time, let's buy one, try first, talk to our friend. Next 2 months, they go and talk to their friend. Guess what happened? They go to their friend's house, 2 emGuardes already installed. It is already happening. Okay? So, another thing is, a lot of distributors look at emGuarde and say that, oh, it is another Enagic product. And maybe they just go and call up their existing customers and they just get them to buy the emGuarde. Now, there are 2 types of distributors. One, they just focus on their existing client. Let's say they already have a few hundred clients, they go and talk to a few hundred of them. The second distributor is somebody like me. I don't just look for my existing team, I bring in brand new people into the business with emGuarde. And I build brand new teams with emGuarde. Who do you want to be? Number 1 or number 2? Number 2. Because let me tell you, out there in the market, there's a lot of people that will be excited on this technology. Okay? So don't think it's gonna just take your time. You gotta take fast action. Okay? So this is what we call D1. So even in D1, you're getting 100%. Now of course, after 180 days, D0, even for machine and emGuarde, it will be 50%. So if you're making the 4911, you divide it by 2. Okay? And after 12 months, you call it a free agent, it will be both 0%. Okay? Now, this, you guys need to pay attention. A non-Enagic product registered distributor means buying an emGuarde. On the 5th of January, buys an emGuarde, sells it to B, also buy an emGuarde, makes 3,820. Now, B sells to C on August 15th. August 15th. Now, B would receive 3,820, but A would receive 1,910. Why? Because it has exceeded 180 days. Okay? Example number 1. Example number 2. A is an Enagic member, sells it to B, buys an emGuarde on the 5th of January. A would receive 4,900. B sells to C. What is the date? April 15. Okay? April 15. B would receive 3,820. A still receives 4,911. April 15 versus 5th of January, it's already more than 90 days. Are you guys understanding what I'm trying to say? Okay? So they will still be receiving 4,911 and new buyer, D. So B sells a SD51 to D on the 20th of April. So B would receive the full commission of 12,000 pesos per 1A. But because for this machine is already more than 90 days, for A would receive what? The basic commission for the Kangen machine. Are you guys understanding this so far? So far so good, yeah? Okay. Example number 3. FAO, free agent, means more than 12 months without a direct sale, sends it to B, buys an emGuarde, he can refresh its status. Refresh its status and receive the full commission and keep on building the business. Okay? So which means there are a lot of could be a lot of distributors below you that have perhaps slowed down, or maybe they're not doing Enagic anymore, or whatever reason it may be. I believe now it's a good time to go back to all of the team members to bring them back into Enagic. Because, ladies and gentlemen, is Enagic a great company? Yes. Is Enagic a very long-term company? Yes. Now, I have personally seen in Nigeria, in Dubai, I've seen companies come and go. It's scary. Now, sometimes we look at somebody and look at them and say, how come you're doing so many different businesses? You're going from company A, B, C, D, E, F, G all the time. And their story is not that they want to, it's that the company that they're with left the country or closed down. They didn't have a reason, they didn't have a choice. But for Enagic, Raymond, how long have you been involved? 11 years. Diana, 11 years. Anybody more than 11 years? 13 years? Yourself? 18 years? Anybody else more than 5 years? Jerry? Myself, 8 years. So this is a company where it's long term. And being in any business, is it good to do in a long-term business? Yes. Absolutely. And now with emGuarde, it gives a fresh breath, a nice fresh breath into the Enagic company, so that all of us, no matter we are 6A or even 5A, or maybe you are 6A2, or you have been in that rank for a long time, I believe now's the time to rank up to the next rank with emGuarde. Are you guys with me? Yes. That's how I see it. Okay? So, example number 3, and this is emGuarde. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is from me, myself, and Mingwei. Thank you so much for having us. We hope that you guys have gotten a lot of value from our training. Did you guys get value from our training today? Yes. Amazing. By the way, tomorrow we are going to Cebu. We're going to Cebu tomorrow, and I think the day after we're going to Davao. And then we're going to be leaving to the Philippines, going somewhere else. All right? So if you have people in Cebu and Davao, you can arrange with your outlines or the office. We're not even sure where the venue is. We just get the location and get there and we start to talk. All right? So stay tuned. I'm going to pass the microphone back to Diana. Thank you so much, Daniel, for having us. I wish you guys all the best. I wish you guys to get to the next rank. I wish you guys to get more success, abundance, and health. And I'll see you at the top, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, let's give Simon and Mingwei a round of applause. Thank you so much. All right, did you guys learn about emGuarde this afternoon? By raise of hands, let me see you alive. All right. Sino dito sa inyo gusto ng emGuarde sa house? I actually have emGuarde. We bought one when they launched in Malaysia. Is it okay if I share with you my experience? Say I. All right. So, we bought our emGuarde May, no? And of course, anyone here who knows me from YouTube? Meron ba? Knows me from Instagram? Meron ba? So, you know that I'm so much into technology, right? So, I'm always in front of the camera, in front of computer, and we do a lot of technical stuff. So, I myself was very much exposed to a lot of electromagnetic radiation. And there was a time and a point in my experience where I would wear anti-radiation glasses. Sino dito sa inyo nagsusuot ng anti-radiation glasses? Right? Why? Why do we do that? Because we feel that our eyes are dry already, it's strained, and sometimes I even have difficulties seeing when it's too bright. And that was one of the effects of the electromagnetic radiation. Another experience that I have is, alam mo yun, when you try to sleep and you get 8 hours full sleep, but when you wake up, you still feel like, there's heavy weight in your shoulders, or, because I do some meditation exercises in the morning, I have to really, unpack such feelings every morning. It's probably because I live in 14th floor in my building, and there's a lot of cell sites everywhere. So, when we went to Malaysia, I actually had tendonitis. Do you know what tendonitis is? It's actually the inflammation of your tendons. And because I'm always on my computer, and I actually recently bought my watch, Apple Watch, you know, whoever it is wearing their, yung smart watches, which measures your heart rate, measures a lot of things, even your steps. It's because it's connected to you, right? That actually caused my tendonitis. I went to Malaysia with that condition. I would sometimes wear braces because it hurts, no? But, kumbaga, dahil medyo active pa ako, I really didn't care that much. So, when we went to Malaysia and got our emGuarde, going home, what I noticed is I didn't need my radiation glasses anymore. And I can drive without my shades because what I was experiencing was actually nare-relieve na yung microcirculation ng eyes ko from the emGuarde. So I knew, sabi ko, it's really effective. Number 2, my sleep. My gosh, sino dito may emGuarde na sa house nila? Meron na? Kumusta po yung sleep ninyo? Is it good? Sobra. Like, you want to lay down and just relax the whole day. But the thing is, hindi siya yung magiging antukin ka. It's mostly like your body is just rejuvenating a lot when you sleep. And when you wake up, you get a full energy na paggising din. So, I really felt that. But of course, it's my biased experience kasi alam ko the emGuarde works. Now, who has pets? Do you have pets, sir, sa house ninyo? Na naapektuhan din ng emGuarde, yung pet ko, ginigising ko na siya. Sasabihin ko, hey, wake up! Kasi ang sarap din ng sleep niya. So, I knew it was working. But in the later days, another discovery that I have is yung tendonitis ko, nawala na siya. I even consulted with a doctor with that. So I told myself, it's really effective and the electromagnetic radiation, kumbaga natanggal niya talaga yun sa house namin. So, dahil isa pa lang po talaga yung emGuarde ko sa house, we put it in the center kasi we live in a condo apartment. So, it covers up and down at least 4 meters in radius. That's actually 8 meters in circumferential diameter. So, it's so powerful. If you guys have your rooms beside yung mga anak ninyo, beside every area in your house. Kasi I have living room and 2 rooms upstairs. So, it's covering it. Kasi I tested also. And alam naman natin that the digital age will never go back. Will it go back? Would you want to use analog phones again? Yung totoo. And play snakes. Not right. We don't want to go back. Technology has gotten us somewhere very advanced. However, again, because of the effect of electromagnetic radiation, there's actually what we call a side effect. If gamot yon, it's an adverse reaction. And so, if you seem to still doubt, if you still seem to, doubt yourself, if you're capable of getting this device right now, I think this is the time that I'm going to tell you, I trust you to really create the right decision this afternoon. Because if you're drinking canyon water, it's super good. But if you have an emGuarde in your house, it's super great, outstanding protection, for our health. Now, for those of you who feels, all the things that are not acceptable for our electromagnetic radiation, headaches, migraines, who among you here have kids in your house, 0 to 7 years old? Meron ba? They are children with developing brain. Now, can I state a fact here? By the way, I'm a nurse by profession, so hindi gawa-gawa yung story. Year 2000, have you noticed there's a lot of clinics that open na may mga occupational therapy, autism, heard of it? Delayed speech, heard of it? Delayed learning, it's common, right? Was it evident 30 years ago? 30 years ago, I was born. So wala akong kabatch, charot, na may autism. But today, ang dami nila. Now, here's a fact. Year 2000, autism is 1:150 children. That's a lot already, diba? 1:150. Who can guess 2023, last year? Is there anyone who can guess? Anyone? Do you want to know? Okay. Year 2023, autism cases is 1:36. Is that high? Shouldn't we be alarmed if this is happening to growing children? And I like what Simon noted kanina when he said that even for the elderlies, no, without balance, a lot of fall cases. So you know that this is something for your health. It is an enemy we cannot see, enemy we cannot taste, we cannot hear. And so, may I ask you right now, by show of hands, raise your right hand, no? I want to ask you, do you want to get your emGuarde today? Raise your hand, raise your hand. Can I call on Miss Christine? Miss Christine, pabigay ng application form sa mga nag-raise ng hand. Come on, continue raising your hand. I mean, I'm serious here. Right? If we're not serious enough to even consider one in our home, it's like, you know, reading that this can cause you cancer, this can cause you autoimmune dysfunctions, and a lot of stuff. Have you noticed last year there was a lot of cases with anxiety and skin rashes, hives? Yes, we try to flush it out with Kangen, but what we want to do is to really deal with the root cause, which is a pollution. It's called electromagnetic pollution. So Ms. Christine, please hand in the application forms. Of course, since we are in our Enagic office, you can actually get your emGuarde today. Palakpakan naman natin ang Enagic Philippines because it has now been made available for us. So, yeah, if ever, no, if it's really in your mind, I would really highly encourage you. Now, I actually talked to my husband. I told him, kuha pa tayo ng isa pa. Because, again, technology will never go back to how it was before. And at the end of the day, if you change your environment through this environment harmonizer, you actually change your life. So, again, our emGuarde, I just want to tell you, you don't have to like pay out the 94,000 right away. We have installment plans, correct, Sir Will? You can actually pay it through card, that's 0% interest, dating gawin. And we have e-payments, no? There's just a down payment. We have 6 months payment, that's around 9,000 monthly, I think. And a 12 months payment, which costs around 4,000 pesos monthly. Now, to be honest with you, saan ba natin nagagastos yung 4,000 a month? Kain-kain po, di ba? Tapos alis ng bahay, di ba? So, ano ba? Magpapaano, for the girls, pang-pamper. So, yeah, I mean, it makes a lot of sense. So, with you guys na may application form, let's go to our front desk, doon sa labas later. Just wanted to let you guys know about that. And, yeah, so with that being said, I'd like to close this opening launching because I don't want to spend too much time talking. I want you guys to spend time getting your emGuarde. And so with that being said, maraming salamat po sa pagdalo sa ating launching ng emGuarde. Palakpakan natin ang ating mga guests, Simon Law and Mr. Mingwei Sia. So we are so blessed to have them. And yeah, of course, before we leave, I'd like to request everyone to please just stay in your seat as we take our group photo. So you don't have to go anywhere. just stay in your seat because we are going to do our photo here in our front. Alright, let's take our photo, guys, together. So just stay